Hi everyone. I am a coach, Kayla, and I have with me Francisco. He is one of my past running nutrition clients that I've worked with. And Francisco is not particularly plant-based, right? But we have talked about
Yes, we have.
eating more, healthy foods,
Yeah.
fueling properly, all of that stuff. So I wanted Francisco to come on here live with me and talk about his running journey because he's been running a very long time. And also just talk about his experience working together. So, would you like to introduce yourself or add anything about who you are, where you're from,
Yeah.
how long you've
Well,
been running? Go for
my name is Francisco, and I grew up in North Jersey. Currently reside in Princeton, well, near Princeton University, which is to central New Jersey. I've been running for about 16 years now. Well, now that I'm getting older, I'm getting slower, unfortunately. But I do. I enjoy the running part. I've learned a lot, uh, and I've been taught a lot by a lot of people. I've met great people. I have a lot of mentors. I have a lot of coaches. One of them is right next to me.
it.
She's my coach, my running coach. I learned a lot from her. So that's it. That's me.
Awesome. And let's see. So how long, do you remember how long we worked together? I think a couple months,
More than a couple of
right?
months, I think.
More than a
Yeah,
couple months? Yeah,
yeah.
we mostly
Oh,
worked on nutrition.
yeah, we did.
What did you learn that was valuable to you?
From you or from as in
Mm-hmm.
general rule? As a
It could be
general rule.
both, either or,
Um,
or both.
to be more disciplined on the things I ate, especially on the things I ate, because you knew that I had Boston. You also knew that I had a 20 miler to run before Boston.
Yes.
And you also knew that I was running New York City. So I had to be at the top of my game to enjoy the 2021 of this year, all my runnings this year.
Yes, yes. We should actually go back and explain. So when we worked together,
Yeah,
you had quite a few races, right, back to back.
back to back.
And you got through them. Maybe not exactly how we wanted them to go, but
But yeah, we
you
did.
did them,
Yeah,
which
I
is
was
great.
very happy to that from the
Yeah.
outcome. I enjoyed every single second that I spent running the courses in both Boston and New York.
Yes.
But I think New York City meant more because I've
Yes.
been doing it for quite a while,
Right.
and knowing that I'm no longer running long distances, New York meant more.
Right. So you did Boston,
Boston,
then New York City the next month, right?
yeah,
Is that
three
how it
weeks,
went?
within 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks after
Right.
that,
So
I
we
ran
did
for New York.
Boston more as like a training run, right?
Yeah.
And New York
Well, it was
City
like a second training
next
run
month.
for New York City
Yes.
because I remember
Yes.
I ran a 20 miler 2 weeks before Boston.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that
We
was
didn't
my
have
second training run for New York City.
Yeah, yeah. And
Right.
we didn't have the ideal kind of break, right, that we usually like to have
Right.
between
Right.
marathons,
Three
but
weeks is not enough. Let me
you
say
did it.
one thing. 3 weeks is never enough as a rest to
Yeah,
rest the body.
it's not what I usually recommend for
No.
people to do back to back.
Right.
But this was a strange year because I don't
Yeah.
think Boston's usually not
Yeah. It's
in
in
the fall.
April, so
Yeah, it's usually in
that
April.
gives you enough time to rest from April to November.
Yes,
But this time was from October to November.
yes. I think a
So
lot of people are in that situation
yeah,
this year.
there was not
Yeah,
who knows how many 3 weeks maybe, maybe 2.5 weeks.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure how many days in between,
Hmm.
but it didn't. I remember on mile 15, the New York City Marathon. I kept saying to myself, I need to finish this because my body was already tired. I knew
Yes.
I was not in trouble, but I knew
Hmm.
that if I kept up running the way I did, I was not gonna make it. I
Right.
had to take a lot of breaks in between because of
Hmm.
that, because I knew my
Sure.
body was already tired.
Sure. And
And
mindset was a part of that too, right? Just pushing through
the
it.
mindset has to be there. It has to,
Hmm.
you have to convince yourself that you need to finish it.
Yes.
Your mind, your heart, and your soul have to be all in sync with
Hmm.
each other. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult. very difficult. Then you start
Yes.
walking, and then just keep on walking, and your body immediately
Mhm.
tells your mind, you know, it's okay we walk. No, it's not okay to walk because you still have 10 miles to go. Walking
Mhm.
10 miles in New York City, especially the last 10 miles, not a good idea. Not a good idea. Um,
Yeah.
but what made it different this year, it was the time. Normally, I will start the New York City Marathon around 10, 9:30.
Mhm.
But because of the pandemic and the rules set by the government on the state and the city level, not in the federal level, but in the city level,
Mhm.
the last I think the last wave was at 12 o'clock.
Oh
12 o'clock
wow. It's
midday,
late.
you put all the slow runners, and that's a 6, 7 hour marathons.
Whew.
You at 4 o'clock, at 4:15, it's already dark. It's already the sun begins to come down. So
Yeah.
you spend 2 hours in the dark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
So
realize that.
yeah. So
Wow.
and because I'm a very slow runner, guess where I started? At 12 o'clock, which is
Nice.
fine by me because I knew the course. I knew what time I was supposed to be at certain locations. I knew when to turn.
Yeah.
Uh, Besides that, you knew where you were. There are people cheering for you, even at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. People were still
Mhm.
cheering for you. It wasn't that cold. It wasn't snowing. It wasn't chilly
Good.
like it was 2014, which was like 38 degrees. It wasn't like that at all. It was actually
Mhm.
perfect weather. It was perfect weather for a runner. I could
Awesome.
not even ask for anything better than
Yeah.
this year's doing New York City
Yeah.
Marathon, and
Yeah.
even
Look
in
great.
Boston. But I think I talk about more towards New York City because it means more
Right.
to me than Boston. That
Mhm.
unicorn, it sits in the closet behind me with all the unicorns that I ran this year. Because I ran the 5K, the 10K, the half marathon, but they were virtuals.
Yeah.
Um, it has a meaning, but nothing compares to New York City. So whoever does Boston needs to do New York City. It's
Yeah.
sort of like this. So they're like siblings. In many ways,
Yes.
they're very close to related to each other. They're so different, but they're so much alike.
Mhm.
Certain parts of the New York
Yeah.
City Marathon, you know your body's gonna ask for every bit of energy left. Same as Boston, mile 16, when you
Mhm.
see the Newton Hills, it will ask for every bit of energy out of you. Same as New York City, the Queensboro Bridge, the QB.
Mhm.
It will last because it's a almost 1.2 mile tunnel of
Mm.
darkness. That's what it feels like. And it plays with your mind. But that's what
Mhm.
marathons do. It
Mhm.
plays a lot with your mind. You know as a
Absolutely.
coach, and you
Mhm.
ran
We talk a
a
lot about
marathon recently.
mindset.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a mindset.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
your heart and your mind and your soul of your body is in sync with each other, you'll do
Mhm.
fine. You'll
Yeah.
do fine because marathons will ask for every bit out of you
Yes.
in any way whatsoever. He'll ask for it,
Yeah.
and if you can't give it to it, don't. It won't.
Mhm.
It won't go as well as you think it will be.
Mhm.
People get injured that way, and that's the thing.
Yes.
People do have long-term injuries because of that, because of
Mhm.
not having. I'm not going to say the enough training. It's a mindset.
Mhm.
The mind has to be there. You have to convince yourself that running a marathon will take every bit of energy, will take
Mhm.
every single fiber of muscle
It
fiber
will.
that's it will damage every muscle that you have,
But it's worth it,
but
right?
it's worth every second. When
Yes.
you cross that finish line, whether it's Boston, New York, London, Chicago, Los Angeles, it is worth
Yes.
it. It is worth it. People get up. It's a runner's high
Mhm.
when you know you're when you see the finish line, you're like, I've made it. All that work comes down to the last tenth of the mile, the point two.
Yes.
It's the greatest feeling that we as marathoners, as you and I, it's the
Yeah.
greatest feeling you can have. You
Mm-hmm.
know it's coming. You
Yeah.
know that in tenth of a mile, you'll finish all those months of training, all the sweat, all the tears, all the liquids, all the food,
Mm-hmm.
all those days that you needed to rest, which you didn't rest, which
Yes.
I know firsthand that I should have taken my days off and I didn't because that's
Mm-hmm.
who we are. Some of us are. So,
Mm-hmm. That's why
but here
sometimes
we
you
are.
get a coach just to tell you to take a rest day.
And there you go. That's when you come in.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go back to nutrition. So, you mentioned that working together,
Yeah.
you were able to better be disciplined with your nutrition. So, your nutrition, how would you describe your nutrition before we kind of work together?
Before, it
Yeah.
was mostly hmm, a lot of meat. A lot of meat.
Yeah.
Not enough salads, not enough grains, not enough beans, not enough garbanzo beans. Now is I think it's less meat, more greens, more garbanzo, more hummus. Oh my God, Lord. Um, black beans, not so much. Kidney beans I like now.
Good.
Something I don't. Usually just put away from it, but I can eat that now. I'm okay now.
Awesome.
I'm better
Awesome.
now.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And has that made you feel better? Do you feel like in your nutrition, just, eating more,
Oh, a
plants?
lot
Do you feel
better.
like it helps
Yeah.
with running
Yeah.
in
But
general?
it's running. It's a formula. If you add the proper nutrition, if you add enough sleep, if you add enough water to it, if you have, it's like a pancake. It keeps building up. By the time you're done building a pancake, you don't have the most delicious dish ever. So the rest, the eating properly, the drinking properly, the enough exercise. Make
Yeah.
sure you get enough, especially the resting part.
Hmm.
People forget that.
Covering.
I've seen so many times, so many people in on the online on Facebook and social media that, oh, it's my day off. I still am gonna run. Well, maybe not.
Hmm.
Your body doesn't. It reacts well in the beginning, but when you're done, when you do it consecutively, it gets tired. Your body will
Hmm.
get tired. Your
Yeah.
body will need to heal
Burnout,
itself.
injuries.
Yeah, injury. It's prone for injuries
Yes.
because of the lack of
Hmm.
resting. When you say, well, you need to drink a gallon of water, maybe you shouldn't drink, but at least drink. Just keep on
Yes.
drinking. Not a gallon. Doesn't You don't have to kill yourself over water. You don't. There's no need for that. Your body's 75% made of water, anyways. But you do need it. You
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 do.
do need water.
Hmm.
And that should be added. That's another layer of the pancakes.
It is.
You need enough liquids
Yeah.
because you lose a lot of fluids during
Hmm.
training.
And
You do,
sweat.
and people don't
You're losing
realize how
water.
much. Even in the winter running,
Yes.
even in winter, you
Hmm.
have
You
to
can get
be.
dehydrated in winter still.
Yeah, you do. You need, even if you don't feel like it, if you don't feel it, even if it's
Mhm.
20 degrees outside, you run 20 miles. When you come back inside, guess what? You sweat enough. You have made a
Mhm.
lot of water come out of your body.
Mhm. I try
Believe
to
it or not.
drink one of these and
Hey,
recommend it
that
to
looks.
clients as well after a run. Just
I may have to say that looks like a moonshine jar.
it
No
does.
way.
It's a mason jar.
Oh, exactly. That's why people put moonshine in it.
You're right. Oh, that's
There's nothing
funny.
wrong with that either.
It works.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Works.
So,
Cool. So, how did the program or us working together impact your self image or confidence? Has that
confidence.
changed?
Um, yes. The ability of running back-to-back marathons. If I were to do it again, which is I'm not gonna do it, but it sits in the back of my mind. Now I know. You learn a lot. You learn what your body's capable of.
Hmm.
When you have a coach that tells you, you do this, and you do that, and if you do it consecutively and with the discipline, you'll be able to do back to back marathons. So I
Yes.
confide in you because in the beginning, if it wasn't for you, I would not be able to complete the back to back marathons. I can tell you that right now. I needed help, and you
Mhm.
stood up and took charge, and I thank you for that.
Hey,
Um,
you're welcome.
so I did make it because of you. I made the back to back marathon. I am not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not in my plans to do it again because it's a lot of work. And
Mhm.
then in the back of my mind said, well, if you can do back to back, you can do it back to back to back full marathons. Hmm. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah. But it gave you more confidence
Oh
that,
yeah.
you could do it. Your body's capable of it.
Your
And
body is capable
good.
of doing amazing things
Hmm.
when
It
you
is.
ask and you properly train for it.
Right. And that's the key, right? Properly training and all
Proper
those
training.
other things you mentioned that you call the pancake, right?
Yeah,
Our
I think
hydration, our sleep, our recovery,
rest, recover,
nutrition.
especially the recovery part. You need to
Yeah.
recover, and you have to let your body recover.
Hmm.
We're not made of
Yeah.
metal. It's tissue that
Hmm.
you kill, that you basically die. Your cells die every day, every hour.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You need time to recover.
Yep. For putting our
Some
body
people
under
don't learn,
stress.
and some people don't learn. Some people they're like, whatever.
Hmm.
I'm young, I'm in the 20s. Yeah, your body heals quicker, but you still do damage. And at
Hmm.
the end of the day, at the end of the 5 years later, your body's gonna go, well, remember what you were doing 5 years ago? Let me remind you. Boom, there it is. Now, for me, now that 16
Yeah.
years is a long time. 16
It is.
to me, I never knew I was gonna make it this long.
Yeah.
I never knew. I thought it was gonna be like a 5 year thing, maybe 4 year thing, maybe a year thing. But
Yeah.
16 years is a long time.
It is.
I'm not a young kid anymore.
No.
Now, even
More
though,
important to do those things, right?
yeah. So I may run, maybe I may run again, but right now, no, it's not in my
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
not.
just so everyone knows, after we worked together, Francisco was like, "I'm retiring from running. I'm not running anymore." But he loves running so much. He's still thinking about right, at least running the Brooklyn half.
Yes, and every 3 years I run New York City. So the 2023 New York City Marathon, it's just around the corner, and
Mhm.
there won't be a back-to-back marathon. That's for sure. I can tell you that right now.
Right.
But
Mhm.
I don't know. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm undecided. Let me put it that
Yeah.
way. I'm
Yeah.
undecided to run the New York City
Yeah.
Marathon.
Gotcha. Yeah. How else has the program or working together impacted your life in any way? Or any areas?
We just mentioned nutrition. Um, my coworkers are eaters. They like to eat a lot. I mean, when it comes to eating a lot, we're talking. Oh, let's go out for lunch every other day. Fortunately, I've been kind of the positive role model, I guess, if you want to call it that way, because a lot of people say, ah, maybe I should run a 5K. And the first thing I tell them is, you have to have the heart. You have to convince yourself that that's what you want to do. Don't say it because other people are doing it. It's just not. And on top of that, even in a 5 day, in a 5K, you have to change your eating habits.
Mhm.
You can have a 16-ounce steak and mashed potatoes every other day and think that you're going to run a 5K as easy as someone who eats grains or eats healthier or eats,
Mhm.
salads or greens and tomatoes and peppers. Don't think that way. That's not going to happen. Your body's going to feel like you're carrying 50 pounds worth of crap in your body that should not be there. While the guy who
Yeah.
or girl who eats grains and salads, they're leaner, they're stronger, their fitness level is way above a 5K runner who eats meats and the stuff that you should not be eating all the time. But every so often, it's okay. And that's what I tell them. I say, if you're gonna eat something, you eat a portion of it. Not don't kill yourself. Oh, let me have
Right.
a 16 ounce or a 20 ounce steak. Why
Mm-hmm.
don't you have it cut it in 8 ounce and add broccoli to it,
Yes.
and there you have it.
And
And
we talked about that a lot, right? Portion
oh yeah,
control.
broccoli. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So that's
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think running a lot, or how do I say this? So, do you think running affects how you eat? Like, does it make you more mindful of your
oh yeah.
nutrition, food
Running
choices?
demands running demands a lot out of you. It's a love hate relationship between running and eating.
Mhm.
It's a love hate relationship. Running will ask a lot out of you, a lot of energy, and people don't realize that beans are provide a lot of energy. A lot of people don't are not too aware of the other foods that are available as a runner that will provide enough energy. I mean, if you want to eat mashed potatoes, by all means, potatoes are great energy givers.
Mhm.
They supply with a lot of energy, by all
Yeah.
means. But don't buy a store. Don't go to a store to a 7-Eleven and get potato chips. It just doesn't work that way. It just
Right.
the things don't work that way.
Yes.
Eat
Yeah.
a
Whole
baked
foods.
potato. You're good. You
Hmm.
know, and unfortunately, a lot of people are kind of on the lactose tolerant, I guess you want to call them. So they can't have like potatoes with sour cream or mashed potatoes the way we eat it.
Right.
So they have to go to some other energy, some other foods that gives you enough energy. So
Hmm.
it works both ways. You give a lot into eating properly, and the food that you eat, it gives you back into your body. Say, hey, I'm here to give you enough energy for you to complete whatever the distance you want to run. So, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And now, how confident are you in making nutrition fueling choices since
Right
working
now,
together?
if I were running or right now, there are two different things. Don't forget.
They
Um,
are.
it has changed though, because I'm not
Yes.
running anymore.
Right.
It, it I could. I'm also battling an injury right now, so
Mm.
I will talk about that later. Right now, not right now. Um, but right now, it's similar to what I was eating during the training, but it has gone back to, and I don't eat as many things as before. I mean, as much either. I've gained some pounds that I want to get rid of, but I also understand that running teaches you to know your body.
Mhm.
You learn a lot out of your body. You learn what to do, when to do it, what not to do, when not to do it. Yeah, I've gained weight because of the lack of running, and because of the lack of running, and especially right after New York City Marathon, I began to eat everything I can find in large portions because hey,
Mhm.
I knew I wasn't eating a 16-ounce steak. Now I can because there's nothing for me to train for anything. So let me enjoy it. But then I realized that that's not the case. That's not the way I should have done. So
Right.
now I cut down on things that I should not be eating because I need to get back to where I was before.
Mhm.
So I've gained about 8 pounds. And we're not talking muscles. We're not. I would like to be 8 pounds in muscles, but it's not muscle because of
Yeah.
not running. But you have to be, I have to be, if I were to talk about myself, I have to be concerned. I have to realize that if I kept in the same path that I've on it before, I would have come back, I would have thrown away 16 years of running. So I cut down on things. I added more things.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm having baked chicken with potatoes instead of fried chicken with potatoes.
Good.
Frying chicken is just not in my formulas right now to eat healthier. Um, I've been eating a lot more fruits. I know that I've been gaining weight, so I gotta slow that down and going back. And eventually, I'm gonna go back to the gym and get down maybe 10 pounds, 15 pounds, go back to my marathon weight
Mm-hmm.
of 5 years ago. But it's a process. Everything, like you say, it's a
Mm-hmm.
process, and it takes a while. It's not overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. People think, oh,
Right.
I lost 5 pounds in 1 week. Well, you lost 5 pounds worth of water in 1 week. You
Mm-hmm.
did not lose any fat. You may have lost a little fat here and there, but mostly water. And and people, you know what I realized? I realized that a lot of people get very upset of themselves because they see the scale come down, it levels itself off, and it'll gradually begins to pick up, go a little higher and higher because your body is gaining weight, not by fat. It's because muscle also weighs,
Mm-hmm.
and if you get
Sure.
more muscle, guess what's going to happen to the scale? It's going to crop a little more. Yeah, but it's maintaining the same. What's difficult is I think it's maintaining the same weight. That's very difficult
Yeah.
because it keeps turning up and down, up and down. It goes
Mm-hmm.
up and down, up and down. That's difficult.
Mm-hmm. But we have to find that balance, right,
Yeah, it
between
is. It is a balance.
nutrition, exercise, and running.
Yeah. And it goes back to the same pancake
Mm-hmm.
formula. You have to sleep
Yeah.
well. You have to rest. You have to
Yeah.
feed your body.
And
You
it's not just a short term
yeah, it's a
thing,
long
right?
term.
It's long
It's the
term.
rest of your life. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a short term, not a long term. It's the
Right.
rest of your life.
Yeah. Forever.
Some of us don't even make it to 50 years old because of the
Mm-hmm.
choices that they make.
Mm-hmm.
And you have, are helping other people make that long term, make it a full term commitment.
Yes.
So, and I thank you for that.
Yes. You're welcome.
Well,
Yes. I try my best.
you do
Yes,
well.
because it is. It's very important, right? It's very important to learn the things that we can do to change our behaviors that are things we can do forever for right, not just right now. And of
Yeah.
course we go through seasons and phases like you have,
Yeah.
and things will change, our weight will change, but what's important is knowing the things that we need to do and how to do them and
Exactly.
in order to continue to do it that right, that sticks that we can
Yeah, but
keep doing.
it has changed how we do things because of COVID.
Mhm. Yeah, it's true.
It has changed. Everything has changed. Everything that
Hmm.
people are very disappointed on themselves because COVID has
Hmm.
changed. The group
It's been
runs
hard.
are not. As a matter of fact, they canceled the group runs for the Princeton running group here in
Oh
Princeton.
no.
Yeah, because of
Yeah.
the Omicron.
Hmm.
Um, so they canceled that until further notice. So it may be a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month.
Hmm.
And COVID has changed, but you have to make changes within yourself. If you can't
Yes.
go to the gym, then work out at home.
Right. Yep.
Don't sit on
Starts
the
with
couch and say,
you.
"Hey, I'll be back in the gym in a couple of months." No, just listen. And then
Right.
what?
Yeah. I go out and run.
Yeah, never mind. Buy a
Everyone
just
can do that. All you need is a pair of sneakers.
oh, you have to fit well on those sneakers too. You have to be fitted on those sneakers. And that's the thing.
Right.
It's not as easy as people think. It's not. Oh, let me go buy sneakers. Not necessarily. Your running
That's true.
form is your form is much different than my form.
Hmm.
We both wear different shoes because of that. There's not a specific form that we go by. We try to make it the mechanics of running it in each other's body. Your body is different than mine. You can be faster, I can be slower. The mechanics are almost the same, but they're different. They're
Yeah.
different and they're the same at the same time. That's what makes it difficult. That's what makes it harder especially for the first timers,
Yeah.
especially for the people who want to become runners.
Hmm.
And starting at the lower level of running, like you said, get yourself first use.
Hmm.
Go ahead, go to a running store, get fitted for properly,
Yep.
and then go for it.
Hmm.
But then again, you have
Start.
to add on the pancake formula. You have to add the eating the eating way, the way you eat, the way you rest, the way you drink. There's
Yes.
so much to learn, and I'm still learning. After
Hmm.
16 years,
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
still learning.
journey.
Yeah, yeah. But I think
Forever
it's
journey.
time for me to help people. That's what I'm
Yeah.
right now. I'm thinking of becoming a coach
Awesome.
because of that. Because it's time. I think it's time
Yeah.
I've learned enough for me to help others.
Yes. Absolutely. And it's such a good feeling
Yeah,
to help others,
yeah,
for sure. And you have so much knowledge. You do
yeah.
from your experience.
When I remember, when I remember my knowledge.
Yes. You do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. So, how confident then are you? Kind of goes into this next question about how confident are you in now making, the better nutrition choices you do, or even
Very
just
good.
with running and training?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Um, it, it's always a formula. It's running. It's a formula. Eating is a formula. Sometimes my stomach doesn't take certain things. Some days it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yep. Gotta
And
listen
it's
to
a
our
balance.
body.
It's all a balance. It's
Yep.
sometimes I just don't feel like having real food. Sometimes I just what? Let me have some comfort food, and I buy the worst thing ever. But it doesn't happen often, and I don't plan to have it often. It's not in my intentions to have it often. Um,
Balance.
Before I met you, I just picked up and went to Burger King and said, "Hey, give me a meal," because I just wanted to eat. Now I drive by and I'm like, no,
Think about it, right? You take that moment to think about the best choice
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and be mindful of your food
yeah.
choices.
It is. It's You have to be mindful of what your body will go through if you in the wrong path. If I'm not in the wrong path, it's more of a in a path that can actually you have long-term injuries from it.
Mm.
Eating that fried stuff like hamburgers or French fries or I, it's fine right now, but down the road you may not do so well in your body. The cholesterol will go. The cholesterol will hike up. You will develop symptoms that you don't want to talk about here. You may get sick all often. You may get your sugar levels will skyrocket, and it's all that because of the choices that you make. Not because you're not knowing that what you should eat. It's more wanting to make a change within yourself. You
Right.
can't if you want to change, then change.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of stuff. There are a lot of variables that don't want you to change because, like you said, you drive by, you're like, oh, I'm hungry. Let me
Yeah.
stop a burger. Let me
For
have a
the
Big
easier
Mac.
choice.
Yeah, easier choice
Yeah.
instead of let me go home, make something for myself, a salad,
Mhm.
and there you have it, something healthier, which your body will like will always love you for it.
Mhm.
Not the Big Mac. Although, man, I have to think about that. I haven't had a
Oh
Big
no.
Mac in 40 years, maybe.
Wow.
Uh, uh, I can I don't
Yeah.
know what I what I will see if I see a Big Mac next to me. I don't know because I don't like the meats. I don't like the
Mm.
way Big Mac
They have the
McDonald's
Impossible
do.
Burger now.
So, I tried that by the way.
You did?
I tried the
Did you
Impossible
like it?
Burger without the onions and the
Okay.
cheese. If they had cheese there, but you know what? It's not too bad. It's just I have to develop the taste. And that's another variable in that formula. You
Mhm.
have to have the taste for it. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't like hummus because
Mhm.
of the garbanzo beans or chickpeas, they call it.
Mhm.
But it's healthy
Mhm.
because it has garlic, it has lemon juice,
Mhm.
it
Some
has
oil though.
yes, olive oil, which is olive oil is healthier than regular vegetable oil.
Right.
If you make your hummus with extra virgin, it'll be healthier.
Mhm.
But it's a tasting. You have
Yes.
you have to teach yourself. A lot of people are not willing to learn. Oh, let me try this. Or let me try on the healthier side, not on the bad side. Like, well, they will try everything that's bad. Okay, everybody will try everything that's the worst thing. They will try. But when it comes to healthier food, they're not willing to try. I tried cauliflower pizza the other day. I've been eating pizza for as long as I remember. I've been eating New York style pizza for as long as I remember. For me to try cauliflower pizza, eh, in the beginning, it was difficult. Oh, it was difficult. I could never, in my wildest dreams, think that the cauliflower pizza was as good as it was. It was really good because I made that step, because I made that choice, because I knew that if I keep eating New York style pizza, it just, oh well.
Mhm.
I'm due for my annual checkup, my doctor's annual checkup. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
I am gonna hear everything I don't want to hear. I want to hear it. I'm pretty sure of that. But she already knows that I'm eating on the healthier side,
Good.
and she knew that I was eating that for a while because right after running the New York City Marathon back to back with Boston, I felt in my mind it felt that it wasn't necessary for me to be eating the same way I was eating before.
Mhm.
It felt that hey, I haven't had a burger from TGI Fridays. Let me go to TGI Fridays. Well, I remember that. I remember that night. I asked for a burger, medium well. Take everything out. Just give me the tomatoes and the lettuce and some of that whiskey cream, whatever that was, and some French fries. I took a bite, and as much as I wanted to eat more, I just couldn't do it. I just cannot do it. And it smelled great. It felt great. Just, just took that one bite. Said, nope, I can't do that anymore. I can't do this. And that was because of what I learned from you. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But then I keep eating things like cheesecakes. Oh, I love cheesecakes. The Cheesecake Factory, it'll kill me. Um, then I started thinking, oh well, if I can't have cheesecake, let me have raviolis. But then again, I thought of the Boston Marathon. When I ran Boston, all I eat prior, the 2 nights prior, was lobster raviolis, and it was great, like the greatest thing ever. I can't do that right now because I know if I start eating like that again, it's a full circle again. I don't want to go back to that same circle again. I don't want to go back to
Mhm.
the bottom of the ladder and gain another 10 pounds. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gaining weight again. I just can't do it
Mhm.
to myself. I have to think in the future. I have to think of the future, not only as a runner
Right.
but as a human being.
Mhm.
I'm not a young kid anymore. My body doesn't behave as well as a 20-year-old kid. It doesn't digest the same foods anymore. Not in the same quantities and qualities. Everything has changed.
Mhm.
Now I don't eat. I do my best not to eat fried foods because I know that fried foods carry a lot of oil. That oil doesn't circulate as well as it used to in my body anymore. So I owe you a lot of thank yous for that. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Is there anything else, just to wrap it up,
Yeah.
that you would like to share with everyone?
No, I think that's enough because if I start thinking about running,
We could talk about running forever, right?
um, we can talk about my injuries. that the injury that's bothering me a lot. So I'm not sure if I show you the photo of my bottom of my heel. I have
Yeah.
a bone spur growing on my
Hmm.
left heel, and that's bothering me.
Hmm.
So right now I'm battling that. I don't know whether I should have it removed or
Hmm.
not. I went to see the foot doctor who happens to be a marathoner, and he said, "Well, it's small enough not to be concerned about surgery right now." And but he gave me exercises to do, stretching and the
Good.
exercises. Um, so right now I'm doing them, and it feels a little better. But you know, in me, my stubborn side of me say, "I want that now. I want
Hmm.
to be okay right now." Because
Yeah.
if I decide to run
Patience.
Brooklyn in May, I have to be ready. I can't be semi-ready. 13 miles is still a long distance,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not ready,
Yeah. Still
the
need to be in
outcome may
half
be different.
marathon shape.
Yeah, I am not in. I'm not even in a 5K
Mm.
shape right now, but I will be eventually. Not
Mhm.
right now.
You'll get there. Yeah. Takes patience. Listen to your body.
Yep.
Take the
Get enough rest,
time. Yeah. For it to heal.
enough
You'll get
hydration.
there.
Yeah,
Yep.
it
Yep.
will.
Yes.
I'm no doubt on that.
It will. Yep. And keep a positive mindset.
You have to.
It's
Even
huge.
whatever injuries anyone has, you
Mhm.
have to have a positive mind. Your
Absolutely.
mind has to
Yeah.
be
It's even more important, I think,
very
for
important.
injuries.
Yeah, especially when it comes to running injuries.
Yeah. Hmm.
There's always a solution. No running injury has zero solution. All of them have solutions. Some may
Hmm.
take longer. Some may take months. Some may take years, but they will solve themselves.
Hmm.
That's what.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on with me and talking with everyone.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we will touch base
Yeah.
and talk again very soon.
Yes, we will.
And Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you guys for joining. And we'll talk to you soon.
Have a good
Bye.
night. Bye.